Hello, my lovely students. A very warm welcome to all my atoms. My name is Anubha Gaur. Your AG ma'am is welcoming you to the session. And you can see on the screen that this session is specifically for ICSE 10th class and going to be a very, very important session because question can definitely come from today's session, as it's very important because what are we going to discuss? Different examples of electrolysis by taking different kind of electrolytes. So are you all with me to have this session? This is session number 2 of electrolysis. That means I have already uploaded session number 1. So I hope you have seen that. If you haven't seen that, please see it after this video because ma'am thought of something that I will try to complete the syllabus of ICSE as much as I can by uploading the videos on both the channel, Hindi channel as well as English channel. So I'll try to create a playlist when the chapter is done so that you can revise the entire chapter by looking to that playlist. As I told, sessions will be there on both the channel, so please follow it equally so that your chapter will be completed by following all the videos. All right, because just before that I have taken a session on Hindi channel, preferential discharge of ions, so that this session will be very easy after that video, that how ions are going to discharge at a particular electron. We talked about the competition in that session and that was very important, trust me. So please see that video as well. I'll wait and let me know if you have anything to say regarding the same. Students, whoever is coming for the very first time, I really want to tell you how all of your problems can be solved. Like, in Vedantu platform, your doubts can instantly get solved with the help of your master teachers and a team of class teachers totally dedicated in the session to solve your doubts, to teach you and to make a concept crystal clear to you. So your doubts will be solved. You will get notes of every session so that all the time you'll not be writing as we used to do, and ultimately no time for proper revision and all. That problem won't be there. You have to give tests in every 15 days to make sure that whatever was taught in the last 15 days is there in your mind, because human tendency in every 21 days, if we don't revise anything, we forget that. So that won't happen. Assignments after every session to make sure that you'll do enough questions of a particular topic that if any question will come in a twisted way too, you will be able to solve it because you have mastered that topic. Competitive exams preparation like JEE, NEET, Olympiad and all, totally possible. You can prepare side by side with the choice of your own schedule, because here you have a chance that you can choose. Not like, ma'am, I have schools, I have extra classes and all, and I'm not able to cope up. So you can choose your classes accordingly, whatever is matching with your day-to-day life. Okay. Choice of language, not like I'm talking about Malayalam, Kannada or German, French and all. I'm talking about here Hindi or English specific batches as well as English specific batches, so that the language barrier won't be there and you'll be able to learn properly. So all the doubts will be solved with bonuses like unlimited live sessions at this platform, micro courses of a particular chapter to revise it as many times as you can, performance report after every session. And in this session, in what sense? In every session there will be quizzes to ensure the active learning from the students, that they are learning and they are responding to us in form of quizzes, a healthy competition, and then a leaderboard will be there in every classes. Just like you give Menti here, a better version we'll see in the classes. Personalize attention of your teacher and the master, and apart from master teachers, class teachers will be totally dedicated to you. So everything is possible. There is a link in the description box pinned by Vedantu 910 channel. Just go and find your perfect course. And how? When you'll open the link that buy pro course, this page will be open. Select your grade, 10th class, select your target ICSE 2021, and you can select your subscription wisely from 3 models that we have, 1, 3 and 6 months. Which one is the best? Every model is the best here. It's just about extra discount, and this is something amazing that I didn't show before, because can you see that now due to the special Diwali week we are giving 50% discount. Earlier for a month we were giving 20% discount, but right now this whole week 7 to 11, maybe more than that it can extend, you will get 50% discount on MRP, and apart from that you can save up to 10,000 rupees if you apply the coupon code. So this is never to miss opportunity, because right now for 1 month you just have to pay 1350, and trust me, I think you should go for 3 months course at least, owing to the fact that when your exams will be, so that you'll be able to revise properly and can attend all the classes, crash courses and all. And right now 3 months course is just that every month you have to pay 1167 rupees. Hardly, I am not very sure, like 7-8 rupees. So never to miss an opportunity. For 6 months, 958 rupees per month. And I can't imagine that we can get anything lesser than that. Per month, 958, all the subjects, all main 6 subjects will be prepared with so much of extra classes, doubt classes, quizzes and everything included, subject material and everything. And do not miss it, because you have to apply this coupon code AGEPRO. AG ma'am's code is AGEPRO. Do let me know how can I help you, and do not miss it, students. There is a link in the description box pinned by Vedantu. Code is AGEPRO. And let's discuss right now different examples of electrolysis, that if you have a particular electrolyte, how and which kind of a product you're going to get on your electrodes. So are you ready with me? Are you ready? But I thought of starting it with a very positive quote, so that I can tell you little changes makes a difference, students. It's not like that. No matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you're still way ahead of everyone who is not trying. There might be people who are not even trying, but you are Vedantu students. Even if you are making mistakes, it's totally fine. I always say to my students, making mistakes is kind of good, because that will help you to learn better, and that will help you to look at the mistakes and to overpower it and overcome it. Okay, so even if you're having slow progress, make some progress every single day. That's quite important. Yeah, students, will you do it? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see when the video will be end. Can we get at least 350 likes? Let's set the target of getting 350 likes after it. And stay subscribed. And if you are new, please subscribe to the channel for all the upcoming videos. And do not forget to hit the like button and sharing it to all the friends, so that it will become a big hit. Okay, students, as ma'am told, in the last session itself, which I took on Hindi channel, all the videos, there must be a compilation, please follow it. We started preferential discharge of ions. Like if there is a competition between cations and anions in the electrolyte, which one will move to cathode and anode respectively. We did talk about all the factors affecting it, like concentration of your electrolyte, your active or inert electrode also plays a role, and apart from that, electrochemical series. Whosoever ion is coming at the bottom, at the below part of your electrochemical series, whether in the cation series or anion series, will always be discharged to the respective electrode. Do remember this fact. I will show you the electrochemical series again. And in that class, I already taught about the electrolysis of molten lead bromide, Pb lead Br2. That how we get lead and bromine as the product on cathode and anode respectively. We'll talk about these examples in this class. So let's discuss one by one how acidified water will be electrolyzed and what kind of a product it will give. If we use platinum electrode, platinum is kind of inert electrode, means it will not participate in any kind of a reaction or electrolysis as it's inert. Electrolysis of copper sulfate. And two way we'll do it, either using platinum electrode, inert electrode, or copper electrode. Copper means here I'm talking about active electrode which can participate in electrolysis. Okay, so all of these kind of a case we will discuss. And as promised, this is electrochemical series, everyone, kind of very important to remember. So please fit that picture in your mind, because it will help you guys a lot, cation, and you can also call it activity series. Okay, what exactly is this? This is a series that will help you to judge the ease of discharge of ions towards respective electrode. And activity series, as you know, when you move down, if you talk about all the metals and its ionic form, they have this tendency to gain the electron, and down the group, tendency to gain the electron increases. So cation, you know, that always wanted to take the electron, and by taking electron it will come to a neutral form, stable form, and will be there. So how they'll do that? By gain of electron, and as they are metal, they generally have a tendency to lose the electron, but as they're in the cationic form, they have a tendency to gain the electron, which increases in the below. So if I suppose compare my hydrogen and copper, if I have two type of ions in the solution which will move towards your cathode. Why I'm talking about cathode? Because cathode attract cation. Cathode is negatively charged rod of the metal, and that's connected to the battery that attract cation, which will go towards my cathode, that's copper. Ease of discharge, which one will move? That will come at the lower position. It has more tendency to gain the electron. Whoever is at the above part, they have tendency to lose electron more. Gain electron tendency increases, and lose electron tendency increases on the upper side. Lose electron increases on the upper side. Okay, same as anions. Please remember that that's something more important, because activity series somehow you know from 7th 8th class itself, you remember it in that way. Please stop calling me a zebra. I like her calling me silly girl. Me for Mercury, you can add Mercury too. Okay, anion is somewhat more important. Fluoride, ion, sulfate, nitrate, chloride, bromide, iodide, OH, hydroxyl ion. Again, tendency to discharge at the electrode will increase, and again here they'll discharge at the anode. Anode attract anions. Anode is positive terminal of the battery, and that metal rod, that electrode is anode. Okay, anode positive terminal and cathode negative terminal. Do not forget it. So let's start talking about all the cases one by one. Yeah, students, let's do it. Okay, as you understood whatever I have told you, I hope so. Electrolysis of acidified water using platinum electrode. I'm using inert electrode. Acidified water, why do I need to acidify the water? Because we are using distilled water, that's deionized water, demineralized water, and in that form these parts are strongly attached with each other and not there in the free forms at all. By putting some drops of acid into it, here I'm talking about dilute sulfuric acid, that helps to ionize your water in the form of H positive, OH negative. Then my students were asking, ma'am, should we prefer only sulfuric acid? Probably, because if you take hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, they are more of like volatile liquids, volatile acid. We always prefer a non-volatile acid, okay? Because volatile acid will convert to vapors and can go. Yeah, non-volatile acid we will choose. When we'll pass electricity in the solution, by taking the energy, volatile acid can convert to a vapors form, and that we don't want. Okay, so that's how we choose sulfuric acid. And now that means I have H ions and OH ions, which will move to the respective cathode and anode. We already know it, and let's talk about that in detail. We'll be having this electrolytic cell, and that we call as Hofmann voltmeter 2, and I'll tell each and every step of it, don't worry. I have a battery of 12 volt, positive terminal, negative terminal. I have connected it to copper wire, and then I took platinum electrode, platinum inert electrode. Positive terminal of battery, if you remember, cathode. Positive terminal is anode, as it has to attract anion. It has to attract negative. If it has to attract negative, it must be positive. And negative terminal is cathode, as cathode has to attract cation. So it must be negative. Okay, I have taken my water, acidified water, and as soon as electricity is passed, what kind of ions I'll be having into the electrolyte, I hope that's pretty much sure. Water H positive, OH negative, acid H positive, and then sulfate ion SO4 minus 2. We'll see which ions will move. These parts are clear. We have taken electrodes, platinum one, we connected it to copper wire to complete the circuit, and water, H positive, OH negative, sulfuric acid, H positive, sulfate. Now we'll talk about the preferential discharge. For that I taught you electrochemical series. So in total I have H positive ion to move towards your cathode. So cathode has only one ion, H positive. Yeah, cathode has the cathode is attracting cation, so H positive will move towards your cathode and give a stable substance, that's hydrogen gas. But for anode, which attracts an ion, there is a competition between hydroxyl ion and sulfate ion, and as I taught in the electrochemical series, this war will be won by OH ions coming at the bottom, more tendency to discharge. So let me tell you what are the products that you are going to observe. First of all, H positive ion will move towards cathode because cathode attract cation, will gain electron so that it can get rid of its charge. Every H positive will accept one electron. Why I took H positive 2? Because they have to make H2 gas, which is stable. So you will get first 2H and they'll combine to give H2, and 2 electrons is something that they need to gain. So cathode is negative because that's a source of electron. Electrons are coming from the battery and specifically from the anode. Anode lose electron because anode is carrying oxidation. You can remember in this way. There's a country Croatia, right? Croatia. I don't know S or T, whatever it is, Croatia. So what's that? Cathode reduction. Just remember the first 4 words, first 4 letters. Cathode reduction. Okay, students. And OA, oxidation at anode. Anode oxidation. Now, what is oxidation and reduction? I think we taught in previous classes. I taught in previous classes. You can remember in the statement, Leo goes to Gar. Means Leo line goes to Gar. A bit weaker kind of a Leo we have. Gar. Okay. Loss of electron is oxidation. Gain of electron is reduction. So what is reduction? Gain of electron. So cathode is negative because it's carrying electron, and your substance will come and gain electron here. Anode oxidation. Anode is carrying oxidation, means at anode oxidation, that's loss of electron. Whatever is your anode, whatever will come over there, it will lose its electron, that will send to the battery, and those will perfectly send it to the cathode. I'll show you the arrangement from the previous diagram itself. Just a second here. So anode is something positive because it's sending the electron to this side, sending negative charge. That's why it's positive. And then they are going towards the cathode. Cathode is the source of electron. All right, that's how whatever is coming to cathode is gaining electron. Whatever is coming at anode is losing its electron. All right, this is pretty much obvious. So what you got at cathode, hydrogen gas, and at anode there was competition between sulfate ion and OH ions. And who will win the competition? Definitely OH ions. In what sense? It has 4 negative charge, means 4 extra electron. It will lose that, and 4 OH ion will give some stable product like 4 hydrogen. It will give 2H2O, 2 oxygen is left, and we get O2. So if you remember, we got hydrogen and oxygen in this reaction, hydrogen at cathode and oxygen at anode. But let's focus on some of the very good kind of a question that you don't really think much, but very good kind of a question. The discharge of OH ion disturbs the ionic equilibrium of water. There is water, we are doing the electrolysis of water that dissociate to H positive, OH negative. They are telling that whenever it happens, and you can also say, if I talk about self-ionization, you will take 2 molecules, and I can also say that 1 H positive will combine with 1 H2O to give H3O positive and OH negative. That's the product that I can achieve, right? 1 H2O will dissociate to give H positive and OH negative. The other H2O will accumulate H positive, which is very, very small in size. So hydronium ion and OH ions. These are something that we're getting. So they're telling if the discharge of OH ions will go, this kind of equilibrium is disturbed because this ion is not there to show equilibrium. That means to maintain it, more water ionize. As OH ions are going and going, now we don't have equal amount of hydronium and OH ions, so more and more H2O will ionize. Means this is the process which keeps this reaction going on, and which is facilitating the ionization of more and more amount of water. And now as OH ions are going, we can say that acidity is somewhat getting increase and increase into the solution. The excess of H ions then thus produced, and sulfate ions were already there in the solution. That means concentration of sulfuric acid is kind of increasing. We took distilled water with some drop of acid. As more and more OH ions are going, H positive are left, though they are going to cathode too. Then also the whatever H positive that were extra and left will again combine with sulfate to give sulfuric acid. That's, we can say, net result is in this process oxygen is what that's evolved at the anode, and apart from that there is increase in the acidity of the solution given. A strange part, but that's absolutely true. So I can tell you the overall reaction here, that 2 molecule of water that we have taken, 2 molecule is needed to balance the reaction as well. If you remember 4 OH ions, in the same way 4 H ions. So 4 H ions were giving 4 H ions were giving 2 molecule of hydrogen gas, if you remember, and then 4 OH ions were giving what? 2 molecule of water, and then 1 molecule of oxygen. Molecule of water will be again there in the solution, and overall acidity is increasing, and product we got hydrogen and oxygen on the cathode, because positive this is, and anode as negative this is. Okay. So we got 2 molecule, ratio is 2:1, 2 molecule of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. See, such beautiful chemistry this is. Not like, yeah, but you should, you have to glow the light of your mind. There must be light, there must be positivity, that yeah, I can do it. It's not at all difficult if you listen to every single point that ma'am is telling here. And one very amazing information, as so many students were asking me, ma'am, NTSC, what about NTSC? So students, Vedanta Olympiad School is launching NTSC Super Sprint. Super Sprint means on YouTube you will be able to see classes from 4th November to 3rd December. An entire month we are celebrating, and telling all the tips, news and strategies related to NTSC with all the master teachers like Abhay sir, Nidhi ma'am, Ravjot sir, Vinay sir, Asif sir and Sanskar sir. And there is a YouTube link also given here, so you can definitely join that channel, Vedanta Olympiad School, and can attend the classes. And the best part is you can take some courses for NTSC as well, NTSC 2020 prep. And what's that? You must be a student of 10th class, and the course duration, as I told, is given here, 2 to 13 December. If you want to prepare for NTSC for this entire month or till the date when the exam will happen, NTSC 2020 prep is coming right now with 90% discount. Oh my god, 9999 will just cost now 999. So but you have to apply this code NTSC 20 prep. Okay, and this is the link here, you will get it in the description box too. And if I talk about, if you just want to attend the mock test, so NTSC 2020 mock test also, we're just getting in 99 rupees. So what you all have to do, just apply the coupon code NTSC 20 mock, and this is the link for the registration. Everything is given here. You will get the information in the comment section and description box too by Vedantu. All right. That's so amazing. That's so amazing. I wish I could get all those kind of special classes in my time too. But yeah, it's like gone. Okay, let's discuss the next case, electrolysis of copper sulfate solution using platinum anode and copper or platinum cathode. We'll use platinum anode. Anode carries oxidation. Means whatever will come here will lose its electron. So anode is more important. Otherwise, if we take anode as active anode like copper, it will start participating. It will again convert itself into cation and lose its electron and come to the solution. Means anode starts diminishing. That's why we generally choose anode as inert one. Cathode, we have a choice. We can take active one also. Active one, suppose we are using copper and we are using copper solution itself, copper sulfate electrolyte. These process we do when we prefer electroplating. In electroplating, we'll take a metal, we'll take the electrolyte, whatever is required, so that we'll be having those metal ions that can move towards the respective cathode and can start submitting over it. We'll get the layer of that metal that we want on my concerned or required metal. It's like I have iron, I want a tin plating over it. I'll take tin electrolyte, tin ions will come. I have taken iron as the cathode because at cathode your cations will move. So cations, tin ions will move, gain the electron at cathode and give you a tin layer, electroplating. So generally active electrode when we use when we need to perform electroplating. Okay. Platinum in general, when we want to we want this that our electrode should not participate. Yeah, so we'll take saturated solution of copper sulfate here by putting distilled water into it. Copper sulfate will be mixed completely in water, and we'll again put some amount of sulfuric acid, few drops, just so these ions will be able to dissociate completely. Copper ions, sulfate ions, water will also dissociate H positive, OH negative, as acid is also there. So H positive, SO4, 2 negative sulfate ion, and we'll see competition, competitive discharge. Okay. So I'll show you the process. This is the way we'll do it. We have the entire electrolytic cell. We can do the entire activity in the glass also, or a porcelain jar that should be unaffected to the high amount of heat. That's how porcelain jar can be used. Okay, positive terminal of battery, anode, as it has to attract anion. It has to attract negative. That's why it's positive. This is cathode, as it has to attract cation. That's positive. Positive, if it's attracting, that's why it's negative. I had copper sulfate solution, copper positive, sulfate negative. Water ions are also there. So we have H positive, OH negative, and due to acid, H positive I already wrote. So we have an extra ion, sulfate ions. So let's see who will win the battle in terms of cation. We have H positive ions and we have copper ions. And if you remember activity series, copper will come below, then the hydrogen, and I told you in the electrochemical series, whoever will come below has more tendency to discharge. Here, that means to gain electron. So copper here will move towards your cathode. Okay, so copper will come here, accept electron here because it's a source of electron and will give you copper metal. At cathode, you are getting your copper metal. What about your anode? Anode, again, we have ions like sulfate and we have OH ions. Two types of ions. You only tell me. I showed you electrochemical series which has more tendency to move towards your anode. Definitely OH negative ion. So same process. At anode, 4 OH ions will move, lose its 4 electron. We got 2 molecule of water with a molecule of oxygen. So at anode we got oxygen. At cathode we got copper. This is the entire reaction. I hope you'll be able to understand that because I already taught you that. We have copper ions, H positive ions, sulfate and OH. And now I know which will move. It's so easy. It became so easy. Cathode, there will be a deposition of copper. And let's talk about what will happen at anode. Anode, we have sulfate and OH negative ion, right? And OH ion will move because of presenting at the lower position in the electrochemical series. Okay, so we got oxygen at the anode. Cathode, we got copper, reddish brown copper we got at the cathode. There's one more important point. Just see that when the deposition of copper ions is completed, then electrolysis of water takes place. We have copper sulfate and then we have water. So they are telling when copper ions are done submitting, whatever copper ions are there is like consumed, then the water dissociation will also occur, water discharge will also occur. Then H positive ion starts moving towards your respective cathode. So we can stop the process at that moment of time. Otherwise, hydrogen gas, H positive will go take electron, and hydrogen gas is liberated at the anode at that moment of time. Okay. Yes, that's awesome. Hydrogen gas is submitted at the cathode at that time. Yes, awesome, awesome. There's one special note that you should know, and I'll discuss that in active electrode case. Please focus on this point. The blue color of copper ions in the electrolyte solution fades due to decrease in the copper ions, and finally the solution become colorless as copper ions are finished. You know that in the solution we have copper ions, sulfate ions, H positive, OH negative. Copper ions are the only one that's moving towards cathode. So the color was due to copper plus 2 ions, copper sulfate, and mainly copper plus 2 is responsible for having that pale blue color. As they are gone, the solution of the color will become colorless. Beauty of chemistry. You will see wonderful color changes. You will see a variety of colors, and sometimes you're like, okay, I didn't know even name of those colors. Okay. Now we'll do what? Electrolysis of aqueous copper sulfate using copper electrode, means we have taken inert electrode. Okay, so we'll do what? Copper sulfate aqueous solution we are going to take. Copper sulfate with water, electrode, anode copper, cathode also copper, and ordinary temperature we are just doing the process. And battery 12 volt will work, 3 ampere current we will pass. And let's see what ions will be there. I hope pretty much clear. Copper ions, sulfate ions, and then water will give H positive and OH negative ions. So for cathode, there is competition between copper ions and H positive. For anode, there is competition between sulfate and OH negative, right? And you know that. No, you don't know that. There is a very big factor that we have changed. We have taken active electrode, and I told you active electrode generally we prefer when we have to do electroplating. So I'll tell you how that will change. I wrote all the ions. Let's see that. Okay, let's talk about cathode. First of all, what will happen? Okay, for that let me show you first of all the diagram that will help you to talk about all the points. Just a second. That's the same process we can use for electrolytic refining of metals. When you have an impure metal and you want to purify it, you always can prefer this electrolytic reduction method. In that way, you know that your anode is something that shows oxidation. Okay, everyone, your anode shows oxidation, means involves in loss of electron. So you will take your anode as the impure metal rod that you need to purify, and cathode, if you remember, is that rod that where always the cations is going to submit. So we will take electrolyte of that metal that we need to deposit on the metal, and cathode that metal on which we need the other metal to be deposited, like electroplated. So in that way, if we are using copper electrode, we are using copper sulfate solution, what will happen at your anode is what? Negative terminal or positive terminal. Anode attract anion, anode attract negative, so it is positive terminal. This positive terminal, anode. So negative terminal, cathode, as it has to attract cation. Now we have copper ions, sulfate ions, also H positive, OH negative ions, right? Now look at this. What will happen when we start the battery, when we start passing the current? Very amazing thing, very different thing will happen. Your anode being active will also participate in the reaction and will do what? Copper is like, okay, though I have this tendency also, I had sulfate ions and OH ions to participate in the reaction. I had sulfate ions and OH ions to participate in the reaction, that these anions can move towards me. But if I compare sulfate ion and OH ion with this copper, that's my that's my active electrode is, that has more tendency to lose its electron than the tendency of sulfate OH ions to lose its electron. They have to come and to lose its electron, but copper has here more tendency to lose the electron. So this active electrode will participate in what sense? It will convert itself in copper plus 2 and 2 electron will be lost. So electrons will be sent to the battery side and these copper ions start coming to the solution. So my anode somewhat starts diminishing. What is happening to anode, everyone? Anode starts diminishing as anode made up of copper, these convert to copper ions and coming to the solution. Now there is copper ions already, and copper ion starts moving towards cathode, because for cathode we have H positive and we have copper ions, and you know that copper has more tendency to go towards cathode electrochemical series. So copper ions from the solution going towards cathode, and we observe my cathode getting thicker and thicker because there is a deposition of copper. Made up of copper, my cathode was of copper, and there is a deposition of copper metal. So it's becoming thicker and thicker in terms of copper metals. And here copper ion starts moving. My anode starts diminishing, and the reaction will stop when whole of the copper will convert to copper ions and come to the solution. But the best part is copper ions will come to the solution, copper ions will go to the cathode. In that way, in the previous case, the color of copper sulfate solution fades away, but here there is almost an equilibrium. Copper ions are coming from the anode and these are moving towards my cathode too. So overall, there are sufficient amount of copper ions in the solution to combine with the sulfate, and the color of the solution will remain blue, not going to change. Isn't it like a wonderful thing to observe? So do remember, this is something where when at my cathode I need to take a metal that by taking some other metal solution, I can choose those metal ions to be electroplated at my required metal that I choose to be at cathode. Anode, that metal that needs to be electroplated, that should participate for the electroplation. Okay, so let's see. That's the entire thing, and I'll revise it. So what is happening at cathode? Your copper ions are going and giving you copper metal starts depositing. At anode, what is happening? Your copper is losing electron to give you copper ions, and as I told, sulfate OH ions has lesser tendency to migrate as compared to copper losing its electron. All of them wanted to lose electron, but copper will win the battle. Okay, that's so awesome. So product at anode, do remember nil, because that's coming to the solution itself. At cathode, reddish brown copper is going to get deposited. Isn't it like an amazing thing? You learned properly. And as I told, the electrolyte aqueous solution may be acidified with the traces of sulfuric acid. I told you for what? To enhance the conductivity of electrolyte and prevent its hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means we don't want the other ions to be participate. Only copper ions will should participate, no, not other ions. So we need their electrical conductivity free ions to move, not to combine it again. So we can prefer that. Okay, students. And as I told, blue color of copper solution remains same during its electrolysis due to copper electrodes, and copper ions are still almost same into the solution. So that's what is written here. For every copper ions discharged at the cathode as neutral copper atom, copper ions released or added to the solution at the anode. Anode loses copper ions coming to the solution, and these are going towards your cathode. So overall, there are still so many copper ions in the solution, and color will remain same. Now you know that sulfate and OH ion is still into the solution and not participating. Such kind of ions are called as spectator ions. Okay, we'll call it spectator ions. They are just spectating, they are doing nothing, they can't do anything. Okay, spectator ions, please do remember that. And I hope whatever I taught in this class, I think the class was so full of new things and something that was very important and very interesting to know. I hope you have enjoyed it. So keep liking, sharing it to your friends, to all the groups and all, and make it a big hit, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's see what you have to do at home, and do let me know in the comment section. During electrolysis of aqueous solution of sulfuric acid dilute form we have taken between platinum electrodes, that means inert electrode we have chosen. Two types of anions will be there to migrate towards the anode, but only one of them is discharged. Why and which one will discharge? I'm talking about two ions will be there. Due to this and due to this, two ions will be there. Which one will move and why? Easy question. I think we discussed that like too much. So please do submit your response. And in this session, we talked about different cases and examples. And as I told you, please do not miss this awesome opportunity. That there's a link in the description box, pinned comment by Vedanto 910th. And if you buy Pro course right now due to the Diwali festival, from 7th to 11th November, you can avail 50% discount. And 1 month course is just for 1350 right now. 3 months will be the best, because right now is the best time to choose and to take it. You will not get that much discount. AGEPRO is the code. Please do not miss it. So students, keep liking, sharing it to your friends. Hit the like button and press the bell icon too. This is my email ID. You can reach out to me. As I said, don't fear from the tides. That's part of the path. Keep learning, keep coming to all these sessions, and I'll be there to help you out. Thank you so much, students. I'll come again. Until then, take care. Happy learning.